The contract agreement
Coming up, Parliament approves contract agreement construction of 10 polyclinics in Central Region.
2016 fertilizer subsidy program in Accra.
And passenger plane crashes in Russia killing all the over 60 people on board. A very good evening. Welcome to News Hour. My name is Oferiwa Dakon.
I'm Siyoko Kwakucha. You're welcome to the news.
In our first report, Parliament rose yesterday after approving a contract between the government of Ghana and Vamed Health Projects of the Czech Republic for the construction and equipping of 10 polyclinics in the Central Region.
The loan facility agreement between the government of Ghana and Raiffeisen Bank International in Vienna, Austria for the construction of the polyclinics has also been approved by the House.
The contract agreement between the government of Ghana and Vamed Health Projects of the Czech Republic for the construction and equipping of 10 polyclinics in the Central Region was laid in the House on 17th December last year and was referred to the Committee on Health for consideration and report. A back-and-forth argument ensued on the floor of Parliament yesterday when the lawmakers scrutinized the agreement, while the minority asked for the contract agreement to be deferred until the value for money audit of the project was ready. Members on the majority side asked for approval.
It is through contracts that a lot of contracts that we have waste and corruption, which is one great source of the bleeding of our economy. And that is why we are here. And we put this in this report saying that, oh, the expectations have been heightened. So even if we have not got the value for money report, we should approve it. I don't think we'll be doing our work well.
We took a loan. This country took a loan from Japan to construct chips compounds. And the loan could have constructed about 75 chips compounds. Because of the delay in the processes of value for money and the rest, by the time they finished, the money could construct only about 63. The value for money contract is not just done within 1 week or 2 weeks or 1 month.
Mr. Speaker, the committee further notes that the project is a turnkey project and therefore VFM, value for money assessment, is a notable requirement in the award of a contract, especially when the procurement procedure was sole sourcing. Mr. Speaker, if we approve this report as it is today, and anybody analyzing this report, what do you think you will make of us sitting in this house today?
Everybody is actually happy with the project and wants the project to work. And I would urge the House, notwithstanding all the arguments that I've heard, to agree to the motion that has been put.
After the long debate on the matter, the contract agreement for the construction of the 10 polyclinics was approved by the House.
The Ministry of Food and Agriculture, in partnership with the West Africa Agriculture Productivity Program, has introduced the e-agriculture system where farmers and stakeholders will have access to extension services electronically. The Minister for Food and Agriculture, Mohamed Muniru Limuna, announced this at the launch of the 2016 Fertilizer Subsidy Program in Accra.
The fertilizer subsidy program was introduced in 2008 with the aim of enhancing farmers' access to fertilizer to increase crop productivity and subsequent growth in the agriculture sector. This is also to ensure an improvement in the average income of the farmer and impact on the attainment of at least 5 of the 8 Millennium Development Goals. In promoting the use of organic fertilizer, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture has introduced subsidy on organic fertilizer under the 2016 subsidy program. For the 2016 cropping season, government is to subsidize 180,000 metric tons of granular fertilizer at a cost of 120 million Ghana cedis. Organic fertilizer will also be subsidized at the cost of 18 million Ghana cedis. The Minister for Food and Agriculture, Alhaji Mohammed Muniru Limuna, said government has subsidized fertilizers at an average of 26%.
Fertilizers have been quite expensive, especially to small-scale farmers. So because of that, government introduced this subsidy to pay a percentage of the cost of the fertilizer, just to encourage them to use fertilizers and be able to get good yield and to ensure that we have enough food in the system.
He advised farmers and the general public to report dealers who sell the subsidized input above the recommended prices to any official or the nearest security agency. Sale of the various types of fertilizers for the 2016 farming season will take effect from the 1st of April.
Health authorities in the Volta region are appealing to the MTN Ghana Foundation to reconsider its decision to abandon the Children's Ward project at the Karachi Government Hospital. The absence of a pediatric specialist at the said hospital was the reason given for putting the project on hold. The Deputy Director of Clinical Care at the Volta Regional Branch of the Ghana Health Service, Mr. Robert Adachi, made the appeal at a healthcare stakeholders Deba in Karachi in the Volta region.
Government Hospital was established in 1959 with a grant from Cocoa Board. It started as a health center and was later upgraded into a hospital. The facility has since been the only hospital serving Karachi West, Karachi East, Karachi in Chumuru District, as well as the Sene East District in the Bono Ahafo and Bandai District in the Northern region. The hospital is currently a 120-bed health facility which has not seen renovation or refurbishment for decades now. This has led to continuous deterioration of physical infrastructure and a drop in human resource development. To reverse this trend, various efforts have been made in an attempt to get the MTN Ghana Foundation to construct the children's ward. But just as the construction was about to start, the project was put on hold for the simple reason that there is no pediatric specialist at the Karachi Government Hospital to merit such a project. But the Volta Regional Health Authorities have a different view.
The decision to say that because the skill is not available, the infrastructure will not be provided is not very appropriate, because even if the specialist is transferred here and the infrastructure is not available, the equipments are not available for him to work, it will still be an issue, a challenge. But the good thing is that if you have the infrastructure and the necessary equipment at place, then that will be more motivating for the authorities to push the required staff, that is the pediatrician, to the facility.
Currently, there is a shortage of accommodation for the health workers in the district, to the extent that 2 graduate nurses have to share a single room. To save the situation, authorities at the Karachi Government Hospital have decided to set up the Karachi Health Infrastructure Fund with the financial support of the Karachi Ura Nana Impra Besemuna. The management staff donated 500 Ghana cedis each as seed fund. The medical superintendent at the hospital, Dr. Hilarious Abiu, was adjudged the 2015 Best Health Worker as well as Best Medical Superintendent in the Volta region. He explained why the Karachi Health Infrastructure Fund is necessary.
There's increasingly more responsibilities being transferred to facilities to be able to generate their own revenues and therefore raise the needed capital to be able to invest adequately in healthcare delivery. So we have noticed that government may not be able to provide for all the infrastructure needs, and therefore facilities would have to find their own means of being able to raise needed capital to get these things done.
The fund is enjoying the full support of districts that benefit from the hospital's services. About 50,000 Ghana cedis was realized at the launch, but the hospital authorities are still appealing for more support. The fund's bank account number is 508-11-300-00195. The fund's mobile money number is 0544 963330.
The Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, CHRAJ, has called on government to adhere to constitutional provisions with respect to funding in order to carry out its operations. The call was made at a public lecture organized by the Professor John Evans Atamil Center for Law and Governance of the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GEMPA.
There's a lot of public education work which CHRAJ does, and also there are a lot of people in the lower economic bracket who cannot access the services of the courts and therefore have to come to CHRAJ. So it's a very important institution, and also we do public education. We educate the public on human rights issues as well as other issues, anti-corruption issues and so on.
The Constitution indicates how CHRAJ should be funded, but that is not how it is being done. Okay. And as a result, we are not sometimes giving priority when it comes to funding from the Ministry of Finance, and this affects our work.
Ideally, every child is supposed to have the ability to move his or her joints. However, that is not the case for 3.5-year-old boy Emmanuel Kwabnabuatin. His condition, which doctors describe as rare, is referred to arthrogryposis. The deformity, which has no cure, gets worse with time. To the doctors at Focus Orthopedic Center at Oyarifa, a suburb in Accra, Emmanuel's condition can be worked on, but at a cost of $14,000. Surgery would, however, be done in stages which could take up to a year to complete.
Arthrogryposis has no known cure, just as no known cause.
We don't know the cause of arthrogryposis, and that's what makes it even more difficult. Because we do not know the cause, we are not able to even advise parents about how to prevent it. We are not even able to advise pregnant women about the medicines to take to even avoid it.
Hence, Emmanuel's parents need an estimated 55,000 cedis, or about $14,000, being cost of theatre, recovery and medications, laboratory, as well as other hospital charges.
Scanner omudi mayenu scanny dosu almost 550 million. Ntimi so menemiku yentumi enya sa scan na mi ankasa so fitita ma mi wa akola no mefa ni se ni nsanu ntinu ama mintumi enye adwuma bia.
Hope that have hope say bit my but financial difficult because not I saw you say bit me at all.
Well, no amount is too small for little Emma. The Mampong Presbyterian Senior High School at Mampong Ikwapem is 25 years old. At the celebration of its Silver Jubilee, authorities of the school pleaded with the government to help the school with additional infrastructure and the school bus. Apart from a 6-unit classroom block funded by the GET Fund, all other facilities in the school were financed largely by the PTA and partially from Staff Welfare Fund.
The Mampong Presbyterian Senior High School at Mampong Equiapem was established in 1991 as a result of the 1987 educational reforms with 9 pioneering students. The school was absorbed into the public education system as a community day school in January 1991. Currently, the student population of Mampong Presec is in excess of 2,500. The PTA, which has provided most of the school's infrastructure, is currently putting up a 12-unit classroom block. The 1,500 female students now have a 20-seater KVIP, a remarkable upgrade from the 6-seater that served them in the past. As part of the Silver Jubilee celebration, various departments of study mounted exhibitions. The Economics Department provided food for sale, while the Visual Arts Department displayed their creative works such as leather craft-like bags and footwear. The Science Department conducted health screening for hepatitis B, malaria, and blood group testing. The ICT Department displayed their electronic voting software. The head of ICT, Madam Maria Edu Howard, said most of the system units to the personal computers are exhausted and need replacement. She appealed to government for help. The headmaster, Reverend Ebenezer Akusaki, paid glowing tributes to his predecessors who laid a solid foundation for the school's future. The Eastern Regional Minister, Ms. Mavis Frimpong, called on well-meaning Ghanaians to help complement the enormous efforts government is making in the educational sector. A philanthropist and businessman, Nana Pebi Brafo, donated 20,000 Ghana cedis to the school. A past student, Dr. Rexford Ban, urged the students to make the best of their time on campus.
We cut it in your honor, and I appreciate what you have done in the life of this school. Lord, we pray.
The Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Professor Ernest Aite, has urged women in the country, especially those in universities, to study hard and attain the highest levels in academia, such as professorship. This, according to him, will increase the number of women professors in the country. Professor Ernest Aite was speaking in Accra during the launch of the 10th anniversary celebration of the Center for Gender Studies and Advocacy of the College of Humanities at University of Ghana, Legon.
The Center for Gender Studies and Advocacy, SEGENSA, was set up by the University of Ghana Council in 2005 and launched in March 2006. It was about the first example of a university's formal commitment to gender equality issues in the country. The Center for Gender Studies and Advocacy was tasked with, among others, the responsibility of developing gender-related courses, conducting world-class research in the area of gender studies, developing gender policies for the university, and offering a safe place for survivors of sexual harassment at the university. The Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Legon, Professor Ernest Aite, called on the women to persevere as they climbed the academic ladder.
A number of women professors in this university still way below what we have for men. And so we should be probably bowing down our heads shame, but we don't. And we don't for the simple reason that in the last few years, the number has risen dramatically. And that's what we should be celebrating.
The director of the Center for Gender Studies and Advocacy of the College of Humanities at the University of Ghana, Dr. Kosua Dankwa, indicated that the course has positively impacted the lives of many women.
We have done some work that shows that attitudes and ideas about gender do change. I do know that students go on to do a master's course in gender studies because of the interest they got when they took the classes at the earlier levels.
News are live on GBC24 and GTV. We're taking a short break. We'll be back with more news. Please stay on.
Welcome back in business tonight. Effective July 1, 2016, exporters in the country will be required to give a mandatory verified gross weight of their containers. The policy is an amendment to the Safety of Life at Sea Convention adopted by the International Maritime Organization.
The International Maritime Organization, IMO, the body that regulates maritime trade worldwide, last year approved changes to the Safety of Life at Sea Convention. The Safety of Life at Sea Convention required shippers to give the weight of their containers, but it was not mandatory and not verified. As a result, shippers gave wrong containers, and this has been the cause of most accidents at sea. After several years of broad consultation globally, players in the maritime trade have amended the convention to require shippers and exporters to verify their container weight before loaded containers may be placed aboard the ship. Ghana being a signatory to the convention, government is expected to ensure that shippers in the country adhere to this new policy. The Ghana Shippers Authority has begun educating shippers in the country on the new international law and what is required of them. According to the Tema branch manager of the Ghana Shippers Authority, Mr. Emmanuel Ako, the new law is not intended to hamper maritime trade. Shippers are only required to give verified gross weight of their containers meant for export to ensure safety at sea.
We are putting the emphasis on weighing containers at the export, point from, farms, etc., rather than coming to the port to weigh, because we think that the facilities at the port should be just for mopping up those who miss the opportunity to weigh from their farms.
According to some of the shippers, they are ready to comply as they have been involved in weighing their containers before export.
On our side, is going to add some small cost because obviously we have to weigh the containers before taking them to the port, and we'll have to pay, and we also have to act on time.
We are already practicing, the good aspect of it because we declare the right quantity, to the authorities. So for us, it's nothing new to us. We will comply.
The Shippers Authority is working closely with the Ghana Standards Board to ensure all exporters have a standardized weighing scale that will conform to international standards.
On the foreign front, in business, China's insurance regulator is tightening its control over short and mid-term life insurance products in a bid to curb potential risks from aggressive insurers investing heavily in stocks and long-term assets using short-term funds.
The China Insurance Regulatory Commission is reducing the industry total premiums from such products to between 500 billion yuan or 53.35 billion pounds or 550 billion yuan a year from 650 billion yuan in 2015. The director of its Life Insurance Supervision Department, Yuan Zunchen, said the lower level would account for less than 20% of total premiums for China's life insurance industry. At present, 57 life insurance companies are selling such products. Mr. Yuan said insurance company profits should come from active risk control, not aggressive investment. The new rules, effective from Monday, 21st of March 2016, follow a buying spree by Chinese insurers in equities and real estate after CIRC loosened restrictions on insurance investment in 2014. In recent months, Chinese insurers have been active in both overseas and domestic markets. Yuan said that rapid growth of short and mid-term insurance products has caused concern about risk created by potential asset-liability mismatch. Yuan said that rapid growth of short and mid-term insurance products has caused concern about risk created by a potential asset-liability mismatch and liquidity conditions. According to the new regulation, short and medium-term life insurance refers to products where more than 60% of total policies issued are expected to have less than 5 years effective duration. Some insurance companies have been too aggressive selling these policies, Yuan said, with some firms seeing more than 90%. Under the new rules, China's life insurance companies need to immediately reportedly stopped selling products in which more than 60% of policies are expected to have less than a year duration and gradually cut back other short and mid-term products. According to the new rules, each firm will be assigned a ceiling depending on its capital. Those whose premium from such products exceed the ceiling must increase capital within 3 months to meet the requirement.
My journey comes your way shortly.
Hello and welcome to yet another edition of My Journey. These days, some members of the working class and individuals have taken to exercise and stay healthy, and Abri Hills is gradually becoming the destination for this exercise. As early as 6 a.m., many people come from far and near to park their cars beneath the hills at Ayi Mensah police station near the toll booth and begin the walk or jog to the Pediase Lodge, all in the name of burning calories. On today's edition, I urge you to stay with me as I take you on a journey to the Abri Hills. The sedentary lifestyle means a lifestyle with no physical activity. So white-collar jobs are sedentary in nature, and it comes with a lot of health risk. Common among them is diabetes, high blood pressure, and obesity. And experts say for one not to fall prey to any of these health challenges, the remedy is exercise. Running, jogging, walking, and aerobics are high on the must-do list of every keep fit lover. Now, for some time, a lot of people within the Accra and Tema corridor have fallen in love with the landscape from Ayi Mensah to Pediase. At exactly 6 a.m., I was already at the Ayi Mensah toll booth ready to start my journey up the hills to the Pediase Lodge in order to stay fit and healthy. Weekends, especially Saturdays, have become the best time to catch up with the young and old who are poised to keep their bodies in good shape. But there are the early birds who get here as early as 5 a.m. Eunice Amu and Joel Boateng are residents of Tema, but the Abri Hills is the ideal place to burn some of the calories.
I think it's good, especially for those who want to lose weight. I think there's a very good avenue to do that.
Some friends of ours called this occasion, so it's something we had planned, and then we just wanted to experience what we always see when we are driving down. I don't have a gauge on how many calories I have burnt, but I know that I've actually worked out. I do work out on Saturday, but I think this is very intense, and I intend continuing it.
As I steadily climbed the hill, I also realized that though it's a good place to exercise, danger lurks around because there isn't enough space on the pavement for jogging. Evans Kwachi, who came here with his group to exercise, shared his experience with me.
The nature of work is so stressful. When you have such an opportunity, it is very ideal for you to come and exercise. And I see brisk walking or such an exercise to be the best form of exercise.
I want to advise Ghanaians, my friends, my co-workers, everybody to do more exercise so that you get more strength, energy. Because as you are aging, then you are weakening. So the exercise will help you.
I have burnt a whole lot of fat. Yeah, on my way from Ayi Mensah to Pediase Lodge.
Some of us don't go to hospital to check our health. So we have seen that if we used to come here every weekend, it will benefit from it.
I realized that the railings along the corridors of the road needed to be rehabilitated because some had broken down. The presence of these joggers every Saturday morning has led to the springing up of businesses in front of the Pediase Lodge. While some are selling water, others too sell different kinds of fruits with coconut, orange leading the chart. Kofi Baka knows how to strike the iron while it's still hot, and he describes the ginger juice joint he has opened as very lucrative.
About 2 years ago, we realized people come here every Saturday to come and jog. So we thought about it. If they are very health conscious and they won't come and jog, why not give them something to refresh them after they finish jogging? So we decided to bring juice here.
David Opare also sells coconut and says business is booming On a good day, his turnover is between 150 Ghana cedis to 200 Ghana cedis.
We normally come here to sell the coconut to the people who just come on jogging. Some are from Accra, some are also from Medina. They all climb the mountains to here.
Though the journey up the hills is not an easy task for most people, it has also become a platform for old pals to reconnect and while away time after the exercise. If you have no means of exercising your body, I recommend deliberate health for every individual in order to stay fit and healthy. But in as much as exercise is necessary for a healthy body, you must be cautious of the narrow pedestrian pathway along the Ayimensa Pediatric stretch in order not to risk your life. Many thanks for your time. Till I come your way again, my name is Isaac Jan. We'll go for a quick commercial break. The news continues. Thank you.
Thanks so much for staying on, and you're welcome to this segment. Things have been tense in Zanzibar since the annulment of the elections in October 2015. New presidential polls are scheduled to take place on Sunday, March 20th on Tanzania's semi-autonomous islands. Just days before the rerun, the situation seems to be volatile. Earlier this week, there were reports of arrests conducted by the police. The opposition Civic United Front, CUF, is asking the government of President John Pombe Magufuli to put a stop to the violation of human rights so as to maintain peace on the island. Shortly before the election, a DW correspondent was abducted under mysterious circumstances. Human rights activists and journalist organizations in Zanzibar have called for her immediate release.
A passenger jet has crashed in the southern Russian city of Rostov-on-Don, killing all 55 passengers and 7 crew on board. The Fly Dubai Boeing 737-800 coming from Dubai missed the runway as it attempted to land at 3:50 local time on Saturday. It is not clear what caused the crash, but poor visibility and high winds are being considered as a factor. CCTV footage showed an explosion and a huge flash after the plane crashed. The investigative committee of Russia said on its website that the aircraft hit the ground and broke into pieces. Reports say the plane abandoned its initial attempt to land and circled for 2 hours before crashing at the second attempt.
A suicide bombing in the center of Istanbul's busiest shopping area killed at least 5 people on Saturday, emptying the streets of Turkey's largest city. Police believe that Saturday's attack on Istiklal Street, Istanbul's main pedestrian shopping street, was a suicide bombing gone wrong. In addition to the 5 deaths, at least 36 people were injured. 12 of them foreign nationals, according to the Ministry of Health. Helicopters circled overhead as police quickly cordoned off the main entrances and side exits of Istiklal Street, while the smell of the explosion hung in the air long after the attack. According to officers at the scene, an unknown attacker detonated an explosive device on a side street next to the office of the district governor.
Amnesty International has accused European leaders of double-speak over a deal to return migrants to Turkey. The leading human rights charity said the deal failed to hide the EU's dogged determination to turn its back on a global refugee crisis. Under the plan, migrants arriving in Greece will be sent back to Turkey if they do not apply for asylum or their claim is rejected. In return, Turkey will receive aid and political concessions, and that the EU-Turkey deal, Greek authorities will still process requests for asylum individually. However, many migrants, including Syrians, are keen to go to Germany and other Northern European Union countries and have previously refused to apply for asylum in Greece as requested by the current procedure. The deal says that for every Syrian migrant sent back to Turkey, one Syrian already in Turkey will be resettled in the EU. What is up next?
And in sports, the Youth and Sports Minister Neelante van der Poel has proposed changing the natural grass on the new Cape Coast Stadium to an artificial one. This, the minister says, will help in proper maintenance of the pitch. Neelante expressed delight at the progress of work done so far at the Cape Coast Stadium.
This is the new 15,000 capacity Cape Coast Sports Stadium. It is a multi-purpose stadium in the central regional capital Cape Coast. It is expected to be mostly used for football matches. The stadium was designed by the China IPPR International Engineering Corporation led by architect Zhou Jun. It features a 300-car parking capacity, 2 basketball fields, a handball court, and a tennis court, an indoor facility that can be used for almost all indoor games. The stadium complex has a 22-room hostel facility, a canteen, kitchen, firefighting room, storage rooms, among others. Inspecting the facility, which is almost nearing completion, a delegation from the Ministry of Youth and Sports, led by the Sector Minister Neelante van der Poel, an entourage from the National Sports Authority, and a delegation from the Regional Coordinating Council, led by the Central Regional Minister Kweku Ricketts-Hagen, have toured the facility. The Central Regional Minister, Kweku Ricketts-Hagen, was happy at the rate of work.
The initial impression is that it's a fantastic stadium, a state-of-the-art stadium. And we are looking forward to, finalizing things with the sports minister so that His Excellency the President can come and commission the place.
The Youth and Sports Minister, Neelante van der Poel, proposed measures to maintain the facility.
I thought that the grass was going to be much more of the contemporary artificial grass, so that the expenditure on maintaining it will be low, because the natural grass there, sometimes the maintenance is very high. Maybe we'll be thinking of how to prepare towards removing this grass in the near future and replanting, relaying a carpet grass, or what we call synthetic grass, so to help us.
When the official handing over is done, the edifice will be the 5th stadium after the Accra, Baba Yara in Kumasi, the second-year Sipon Stadium, and the Tamale Sports Stadium. The 15,000 capacity stadium is being funded with a 30 million Chinese government grant.
That's it for sports.
Welcome back to the entertainment segment. As part of Ghana's Heritage Month, a renowned surgeon turned poet, Professor Lade Wosono, has been celebrated at an event in Accra. The program also aimed at portraying Ghana's culture through poetry.
Mistaken passion for compassion, possessiveness for protectiveness.
Professor Lade Wosono is a prominent figure on the Ghanaian literary and academic landscape, being an essayist and newspaper columnist on health. He has published a number of poetry volumes. The ceremony, entitled Beneath the Poetry Baobab, was aimed at promoting Ghana's culture through poetry. The Deputy Minister for Tourism and Creative Arts, Madame Jifa Gomashi, and Weli Okche of Weli Publishing Services took turns to address the gathering. Poems such as Aloys, Twilight Mistake, Make Me Know You, and The Master Brewer were recited, enacted, and portrayed in musical interludes.
There can be no goodbyes now. Outside of destiny, where has a path? Let them pass. Joy and
A review section was held for Professor Lade Wosono to throw more light on his works.
Unearned, undeserved, but by the grace of God,
you are admitted into that lit darkness, and you have the good fortune to enter the space of automatic writing. You find that these things come to you as données, given, written, polished, repaired.
Just slide in your rope.
Music sheep flew in the trespassing breeze. Temple doors were unbarred.
Windows unlocked.
Globin, a basic school at Tabora in Accra, has climaxed its 20th anniversary with emphasis on discipline and holistic development of the individual.
Globin was established 20 years ago on the 18th of March 1996 at Tabora No. 2 Racecourse Road. The school started with 3 pioneers, Rudy Akoto Prepra, Afi Ablobi, and Kweku Tenkwan obeying the school's director's son. Since the launch of the anniversary last year, various activities including debate and quiz competitions have taken place. The managing director of Globin School, Mrs. Gloria Obeng, said the school believes in holistic development of the individual, not just academic training.
At Globin, the emphasis is not just on academic work, but we look at the child holistically, and as such have incorporated extra and co-curricular activities in the school's program.
The Deputy Director of Education, Mr. Samuel Otupanto, agreed with the school's philosophy, intimating that it is in line with the core values of the Ghana Education Service.
To achieve quality education, again, parents have their role to play by ensuring that children get the educational materials. We monitor them, we ensure that learning continues at home.
The management of Globin School used the occasion to thank all stakeholders, including parents, teachers, and non-teaching staff, for having contributed to the growth of the school to this level.
As the Easter approaches, holidaymakers across the country are preparing to celebrate their own way. Our Heritage Month series took us to Kwachi Land to find out how the local people are preparing for the Easter holidays.
Entertainment on the Volta Lake at Ketekwachi is gradually gaining grounds as the venue has become the preferred choice for holidaymakers to celebrate national holidays such as the Easter festivities. This Easter holiday is no exception. Event organizers on the lake say they have prepared the grounds for events during the celebrations, especially the Easter Monday. They are looking forward to organizing a delightful cruising on the Volta Lake. The Volta Regional Minister, Madam Helena Adwantoso, who is also the MP for Krachi West, is a major patron of these events. According to the organizers, Easter Monday's cruising at Ketekwachi promises to be a memorable one.
Well, it's been an hour of news. We'll once again take a look at the news that made headlines. Parliament rose yesterday for the Easter holiday after approving a contract between the government of Ghana and Named Health Projects of the Czech Republic for the construction and equipping of 10 polyclinics in the central region. The loan facility agreement between the government of Ghana and Raiffeisen Bank International in Vienna, Austria for the construction of the polyclinics was also being approved by the House.
The Ministry of Food and Agriculture, in partnership with the West Africa Agriculture Productivity Program (WAAPP), has introduced the e-agriculture system, where farmers and stakeholders will have access to extension services electronically. The Minister for Food and Agriculture, Mohamed Muniru Limuna, announced this at the launch of the 2016 Fertilizer Subsidy Program in Accra.
And a passenger jet has crashed in the southern Russian city of Rostov-on-Don, killing all 55 passengers and 7 crew on board. The flight by Boeing 737-800 coming from Dubai missed the runway as it attempted to land at 3:50 local time on Saturday. It is not clear what caused the crash, but poor visibility and high winds are being considered as a factor.
Well, that's all in the news for now. Many thanks for your company. Enjoy the rest. Good evening.